death. It's something Nintendo's least popular console, the Wii U, had to go through about 3 years ago. Why am I talking about this now? Yeah, the Wii U died pretty early on for this console generation. I mean, it was released in 2012, just a year before the PS4, and yet it died 3 years beforehand. Most console generations only last 5 to 6 years before that console is considered obsolete. And while the Wii U lasted that long, this generation has lasted for about 8 years so far. So it seems that this generation was a bit advanced, whilst the Wii U was left in the dust for a much better console, the Nintendo Switch. But whilst the Wii U was around, it did a few things right, and it did a lot of things wrong. So today, I want to talk about what things did the Wii U did wrong, and what things did it do right. I just want to talk generally about this so that Nintendo can learn from these examples for, say, a Switch Pro, if that ever comes out, or a Switch 2, something like that. Now, while I'm saying that Nintendo can learn from these things, I'm not saying that they need to. Their marketing with the Switch and what they're doing with it is incredible at the moment, so they're on the right track with that. I'm just saying to avoid these certain things so that in hindsight you don't regret it later. So the first thing the Wii U messed up was its marketing. The only ads I remember for the Wii U were these stupid ones where the kids are trying to explain to their parents why they should get a Wii U, which to me just signaled it as the family console for the younger kids. But the issue with that is that younger kids don't want what younger kids have, they want what the older kids have. So it didn't appeal to that market. And then when they tried to market to the casual audience, saying that your son can use it whilst you watch TV, or you can all use it as a family and play games and have fun together, well, they kind of missed the mark on that, because if you already have a Wii, then what's different about the Wii U? What makes that one so special? They seem to miss the mark as well with their core audience. They tried, you could say, quote-unquote, to inspire Nintendo's core audience, such as myself, to buy a Wii U, but it clearly didn't work. I mean, I've never owned a Wii U because, well, money, and also the system is bad. However, I will say the first thing the Wii U did right was the games. Whilst a lot of them were similar to that of 3DS games or Wii games, they were still incredible. I mean, just think about it. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U was the peak of the series at the time. Currently, Ultimate is better, but I'm talking in the time frame of the Wii U. Pikmin 3 was amazing. I'm so excited to see if there's anything different with Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I don't think so, but hey. Super Mario 3D World, whilst I never owned a Wii U myself, I have played, and it's a very fun romp. Mario Kart 8 is incredible, probably the best of the series if you don't count Deluxe. Again, a lot of these are outshined by Switch ports. It's got Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, one of the best platformers of all time. However, and I kind of mentioned this a bit earlier, one of the things the Wii U got wrong was how derivative some of the games were of 3DS games. 3D World was 3D Land, Smash was Smash. It all just seemed kind of the same. There was a Woolly World on 3DS with Poochie, there was a Woolly World on Wii U. There were 2 Zelda remakes for the Wii U, there were 2 Zelda remakes for the 3DS. It kind of felt the same as the 3DS. And think of it this way. If you're a family and you're gonna buy just one thing for your kids to mess around with for a bit, if you have the option to pay $120 for a 2DS and a copy of Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 2DS, are you going to go with that option, or pay $360 for a Wii U and Super Smash Bros. For Wii U? Most families are going to go with the 2DS option, which is probably a reason that the 3DS and 2DS kind of had good sales during this period, because the Wii U was lacking. However, we can't forget how technically impressive the Wii U is. It's streaming from the TV to the gamepad with no latency errors and no need for Wi-Fi. It's actually kind of incredible of a thing. And also, let's talk about the gamepad for a second. I think it's an incredibly fun controller. It's got big clickable buttons, it's nice and large, it feels meaty, it feels impactful. It's actually a good controller, one of the best Nintendo's ever made in my opinion. Of course, it did have bad battery life, and it did mark up the price of the system, but all in all, I think it was a good controller. However, speaking of the price of the system was just bad. To start, the Wii U had two models. A $300 model, that was just the base model. It was a white Wii U with a white gamepad and nothing else. And there was a $350 enhanced model. It came with the game, and it had a black Wii U and a black gamepad. However, as time went on and they saw bad sales, they marked down the price of the enhanced copy of the Wii U with the black gamepad and black Wii U to $300, but they just removed the option for the white Wii U, meaning there was only one option, and that was $300. And that's the last price cut that the Wii U ever received. Back in 2017, when they were still selling Wii U's, there were Wii U's and Nintendo Switches next to each other, each for the same price. I don't know about you, but that's a little odd. I would have at least cut down the Wii U's price at that point, as to maybe influence some people to be like, oh, well, I'm on a bit of a budget, this one's a bit cheaper. But nah, the Wii U stayed a completely consistent $300 its entire life. However, we have to talk about the Wii U's death. And how incredible it was. I mean, it ended with a swan song, really, of Breath of the Wild. I don't know about you, but that is just like an incredible end to a console with this fantastic, fabulous game. It was released for the Nintendo Switch as well, wasn't it? Yeah, that's the one issue. Breath of the Wild was a launch title for the Switch and the death title of the Wii U. I know there have been Wii U games since, especially Just Dance, but that was really when the Wii U died with Breath of the Wild. And to be fair, it was a pretty cool death. One of the best games of all time, with a 97, I believe, on Metacritic. That's incredible. What a way to go out. So what can Nintendo learn from the Wii U? Well, first off, price cuts. Cut the price of the console after a couple years if it's not getting good sales. That's one of the best things to do. Marketing. Market it to the right people. That's imperative to the console's success. Good games. They're imperative to a console's success after the release. But yeah, I think that was an interesting look back at Nintendo's worst ever performing video game console. I mean, it was the first time in a while that they reported massive losses. It's an interesting thing to look back at that and see what they could possibly learn for the future. And whilst, yes, it was over 3 years ago that this all happened, I think it's always important to look back at history. However, it's never important to look back at Star Fox Zero because that would require us remembering it. Don't remember it. It's a bad Wii U game. Please don't remember Star Fox Zero.